Looking good, looking good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Hi guys, welcome. I'm Paint with Josh. Nice to see you. Nice to be here with you on July 3rd, 5 p.m. on a Thursday. I hope you're here with me. So let me go through all the colors that we've used so far and all the colors that we may use on the palette. We've got our bright red, crimson, blue, black, white, right? So the main four. We've got our bright red along with that. We may use some of the Van Dyke brown. We might go green in the grass. It depends. If the grass isn't really standing out, then we're gonna make it up as we go, right? So I'm gonna tell you everything I've done so far to this canvas. It's an 18 by 24 inch canvas, just your standard old canvas size. I covered it in our Bob Ross liquid clear, and then I wiped off all the excess clear with a paper towel. Came out here, made my stripes, leaving just about a whole 2-inch brush in between the stripes, right? Almost all the way down. They're all pretty close. Wasn't able to get all 13 stripes on there, but they're pretty close, right? And then in this blank area, there's no paint. Over on this square, there's a little bit of Prussian blue and phthalo blue kind of mixed together over here. But everywhere that's black, besides this square up here, it has nothing on it but the clear paint. And that way our white clouds will stay very bright white. If you do not leave enough space in between your red stripes, you will get pink clouds instantly, okay? Now, let's get out here. We're gonna grab our fan brush along with our titanium white. You guys check in right now. Tell me where you're watching from around the world. We grab our titanium white like that. And if we come up here and blast it into that empty area where it's just black canvas and clear coat, right? Then the paint cannot and will not be able to blend away with anything else because there's nothing else underneath it. So you get this nice little fat little cloud out there. Bring it over just a little touch into your blue. Oh, I like it. Just a little bit more. Little drag there. Drag it out into the blue. Bang. If you leave a little bit of dark on top and a little bit of dark on the bottom, it makes it stand out away from the edge, my friends. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Grab a little bit of our titanium white. You guys check in. Where are you from out there? Right? Not trying to come up. Sure, you can come up and hit the red. You can give it a little kiss, just a little touch. But you don't want too much red paint. Barely any at all inside that black area, guys. You need it to remain supremely white. Therefore, we don't put any other undercolors in that section. Drag it out into the blue just a little. Oh, isn't that cool? Just instantly makes it kind of stand out. Just make it soft where you want. Just don't hit too much of that red color. Remember, you can grab this painting if you go to paintwithjosh.com. It's right over there. Should we put in the cloud first and then do the mountain, or should we do the mountain first, you guys? That's my question. Same thing over here. We can grab a little touch of that titanium white and just start to work it down into this blue from the top corner, right? Pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, just like a clock would be. So you have a bit of that bright blue up in our sky. The whole square does not need to be blue. It just doesn't. It doesn't have to be supremely bright. Doesn't have to do anything that we don't want it to do, and we can decide how bright we make it, just like that. It's very cool. Very cool, guys. Now let's come out here and grab our crimson, black, and blue like we always do. Very small amount of black, lots of crimson, lots of blue, and we'll mix it up down here into what we call Paint with Josh Black. Now you guys check in one more time. I'm gonna come back there and read the comments right now. I'm gonna come read them, but you gotta tell me where you're watching from around the globe. Anywhere and everywhere. Where are you from? How he did the red. That's okay. I've got tutorials over on YouTube that show you how to set up these flagscapes like that. All right, we got Pennsylvania, Virginia, watching from all over, Oklahoma, Michigan. You guys are everywhere. Utah, Virginia, South Carolina, Louisiana, New York, Virginia again, Connecticut, Tennessee, Belgium, Ukraine, Vermont, Iowa, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, California, Maine, Alaska, Mississippi, UK. You guys are typing them in too fast for me now. It's too fast. It's too fast. Right, let's see if we can't get some of that blue there, just to kind of fill in around those gaps, but I don't need it to be the same amount of blue everywhere. Now, what if we were to come out here, pull down on all that thick, dark color? It's just foul. It's nasty. Cut across so you got a big old scoop of it. And then, I don't know, let's come up here. Let's just start going wild. Make sure we got a little peak. And our peak does not have to be just right in the center either, right? We don't want to go too far from side to side. We're going to scrape up the paint that we do have out there and then deposit it in another place. All we're doing really just blacking out the area behind our mountain. Now, obviously, you can't cover the entire thing with mountain. We're gonna come up here and grab this guy and slide him out. Slide him out, slide him out. Grab him off of this side, pull it this way. Maybe this guy comes down in front of that guy. Maybe off of our peak. It's all going this one direction out here. Right, sliding down and coming up and gripping it from this side and pulling it the other direction. Right, that way we have a slope going down one way. We've got a slope going down the other side, which is gonna make it more and more and more 3D the more that we do. Let's not get too far down into that dark section either, okay? Now we're gonna come over here, grab our titanium white, just a good amount of it, right? Little teeny tiny bit of our blue, and let's mix that guy together. We don't have too much space to fill, so we don't need it to be too blue. We don't need to have too big of a pile. Right, a little bit more of my phthalo blue, just trying to make a sky blue color. That's all we need. All right, we'll wipe off our blade. Let's get a little bit more of our white. Yeah, we don't have too much to do on this guy. Now, once our blade is all clean, we get twice the amount of white, one little scoop of our color that we had created, and that way, that white just has a little twinge, just a little twinge of blue. Right? We want it to be brighter, obviously, than our blue color. Right in there. Bang. Right, now we got all that white paint against all of our blue paint. So let's take our blue first, we'll scrape it up. We're gonna come up here and let it attach and then just whip down, right? It's a very light little touch. The more pressure that you're giving it, right, with that amount of paint that's on your palette tool, right? More paint, more pressure is gonna smear, right? Less paint, less pressure is going to drag off. And if you're holding it light enough, you can almost feel it. Like you've ever been fishing and you have your fishing pole and a fish just biting it, just nibbling at the bait, and it hasn't taken it yet. And so you can feel that little thing. You can feel it coming off of the blade, I swear. All right, so we'll come over here. Let's get a little bit of that blue. Let's say we came off the back of this side right there. Maybe a little touch. That's why it's not all the same exact color on one side. Go back, grab our white, literally cut across it, get it rolled, stick it up on top, and just let it fall off, just so light. Right? The lighter the touch, the more it's going to break. The more you're going to be able to feel that those little bites, right? Because it's biting against the canvas and gripping and depositing stuff. And it's all up to you what you want it to look like. Maybe we got a bit of brightness on that. Falling off, changing the angles, letting the blade rotate, right? We're not just a robot up here. We don't just grab it and hold it and it never moves in our hand, right? We have to let it flow out, flow down, cut in front of other areas, and this, that, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you got yourself a cool little mountain right there, don't you think? Just don't you know, right? What if? Do we have enough paint to do it? We got enough of our white, came off of this side. Oh, baby. It takes a lot because it wants to blend in, but now all of a sudden you got another little ridge out there, or wherever. You're making it up as you go. It's up to you how the mountains look. Right? Every time it's up to you. Because every time you do it, it's going to be a little different. Let's take our brush, very flat, in the opposite direction that we went down. So if we deposited it down like that with the blade, we got to go up like that with the brush. Same thing off of our other side, very lightly, very lightly. You don't want to have too much paint or pressure in that instance. Take this guy, add a couple more little bits of our shadow underneath, just so we can have some bits of paint to make our foggy mist out of, right? You have to have something there. So even if it's a weird, just like a smush, you gotta have it there. I'm gonna show you what. We're gonna come up here with a big old 2-inch brush. You don't have to use the 2-inch brush if you don't want, because we really only use the corner of it anyway. We're kind of tap down a couple times, right? Grab some of the white, let it tap out. Grab some of the white, tap out. Tap, 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 tap. The more times that we tap at this thing, the more it's going to intermix in with the color that's there. So that grayish color that we use to create our mountain, that black mix. All right, if we come over here and we keep tapping it, just flowing down along the same line that we had created with our guy. If you have too much paint on the brush, it's gonna look like that. And then you gotta go back and tap it again. All right, you need that excess paint at the bottom in order to make the mist, guys. If you don't have the mist, then you're not going to have any separation between your mountains and your faraway forest. Right, so you gotta have that mistiness down there. I like it, I like it. Now, there's not a lot of paint right here on a very blank space. So, if we were to come in with a bit of white, blank space meaning there's no undercolor under there. It's just kind of like that gray. So what if we came in here with our white and we added another stripe into our sky? Right? A little bit of misty fog at the base. Right? So all we're trying to do is paint just a little impressionistic version of a cloud or of a flag, right? So it doesn't need to look exactly like a flag. In order for it to do its job, the further away you back up, the more you see the flag, right? We'll come in here, we'll mix up very lightly again. I don't want to pick up the red. I don't want to pick up the darkness from the mountain. We just want to have that white paint over that very dark, unpainted area. And poof, look at you guys. Look at you guys out there. Already looking fantastic. Now, we're going to come in here, and we need to take and wiggle down with our Paint with Josh fan brush. It's very thin. It's very much like an acrylic fan brush, which means you need to have a lot of paint on it in order to do the things that we want to do. Okay, now what we're going to do first is we're going to pop in some small little guys into here. Just literally coming up, and up, and down, just making them odd and weird. They don't all have to be the same height. They don't all have to do anything out there except be sharp. Right? So we come down, we go over to the side, over to the other side, and you're just kind of filling in these areas. You get these little bits of trees out there in the night. Right? They're only going to get taller as they go this way, but remember, we're never going to see them side to side, not on a scene like this. So let's take them, not go too far over to the side. Let's start getting a little taller over here. A little taller, a little taller. And again, they don't even have to go to the edge, honestly. As the more that you put them to the edge, the more of those that you're going to have to cover up. That's just really how it goes. Really, really how it goes. We're going to take this guy, swipe it, swipe it, swipe it, swipe it, swipe it up. Just flattening those little sections of trees back there. And then we have to sort of soften this area. And I don't want the color to come down into the black section. So I'm just going to swoosh it, swoosh it, swoosh it. Yeah. And try to leave some of that red flag either here or there just to have a bit of that background color stay. That's the only reason why we're not doing the entire thing. Now we again need a bit of mist or fog or another stripe of our white to come down underneath into this area. Remember, stay into that black area. Leave a little bit of your red if you can just to help with the look of the flag. Doesn't have to be perfect, of course. Right? That's why we're out here. Have to do anything. We're going to grab this guy and again work it down, but not all the way down, just there. Right? The more you work it up into the trees, the darker gray it's going to want to make your cloud. Right? So you've got to decide. Maybe I work along the cloud, keep it nice and bright here, and now I bring it up. Or I grab some of that color and I bring it down. Right? The main goal: red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. All you gotta do, keep it across like that. Seriously. This one's looking fantastic, you guys. Okay, now let's take a little bit of our liquid white. We've never done a scene like this, by the way. A little bit of liquid white, little touch of titanium white. Very small, very, very, very small. Now, what I wanna do is I need to come in with a bit of land over here first. And if I'm gonna do that, this is what I need to decide. Do I switch to green? Or do I keep it red? Because red over the top of this red, we're really not gonna be able to see very well, right? We may need to switch colors. We may need to switch, you guys. You guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for following and watching the show and doing all the stuff you guys do. Because it really helps my business, right? This is all I do for a living, is sell paintings and paint. Show you guys how to do cool stuff, teach classes and all that, right? But it's all, this is it. This is all I do is for income. So, what do you guys think? Should we put some green grass in there? I'm thinking green. I don't know why. I'm thinking green grass. Thank you. What's that? Alonzo Rodriguez. Appreciate you. Alonzo. I'm thinking green, right? Because, like, it's gotta stand out away from that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our sap green, and I'm gonna get some of my cad yellow out as well. Time I was doing a class with Marion earlier today. I taught a virtual class. Basically this painting, but not on a flag scene. The whole time I thought I was using my cadmium yellow, but I wasn't. I was using Indian yellow when I thought it was cad yellow. So we're not gonna do that this time. We're gonna get the green and we're gonna get the cad yellow versus the Indian yellow. I come out here, a little bit of my green, well, a lot more of my green than anything else. Right, little touch of yellow, only because we're on a black canvas. We don't need to put any base down. This should shine just well enough, and we want it to be dark in the back. Okay, so what if, just at the base of that guy out here, we started tapping in just so we could see it. Oh, there it is. Right, we're just gonna make a little triangle back there, a little old guy. The more you intermix the green with that red color, the more it's gonna wanna go brown, which is okay, right? Having some brown grass out there in the night is okay. A little bit of green out there is all, okay? Now we're gonna take our darkness, we're gonna cut into it, so we got a little teeny tiny little line, and underneath that line, we're gonna add, or underneath our grass, we're gonna add a bit of that dark and make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it comes this way, right? So you have a downward angle, a little triangle, being sharper at the one side and fatter at the other side, just like a triangle. There. Now we're gonna take a very small amount of that you can grab on your brush, just the littlest bit. All right, so we get up there, we turn the brush vertical, and we just pull it down the smallest thing. If I can save some of that red and not get rid of all that red color, wouldn't that just be fabulous? So we pull it down very lightly, and then we come across it very lightly to soften that darker area, which is going to stand our grass up out of the quote-unquote water that's beneath it, which you just haven't seen yet. So we're gonna take a little of our liquid white, right? That liquid white, very runny stuff. We don't need much. Okay, we're gonna come back in here, scrape in, little thing. Stretch it out though, don't leave too much paint back there. If you have too much on the blade, right, that's gonna cause us an issue later on. And then if we can come back in here, we can pull down on that stuff, just very lightly again, creating a little bit of glare, something on top of the water back there, and over there it's going to end up disappearing anyway. But the more you do, right, let's say we put some more of that liquid white, just take our liquid white in here, put it on real heavy like, there, real heavy, see if we can get that beachy look like we always get, like very lightly pulling down, very light, shiny, there, at least we got a little bit of color in that water. Oh, that's going to be perfect, okay. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that green grass that we had, get a little bit of our sap green on there, run that green through the plaque mix onto our brush, and that way we get a very deep, dark, army green, very foresty green color, which then we're going to cut down in front of, right? We have to be higher up than this point and cut down in front of to a lower point. So if we come here like this, we start dabbing it down in there like that. Right, now this guy doesn't have to go edge to edge, remember, because we're going to have something. But let's say you don't have anything. Let's put this guy edge to edge, making a little triangle. So we're getting lower, and lower, especially at the back. The point doesn't change much, right? It's the back section back here that has to drop down. If we're coming down at this angle, we need to be coming down and making a triangle, right? Using the back half of our canvas as the flat edge of our triangle. Now, the more paint you put up here, the harder it's going to be to continue to do things, right? Which is okay. You don't have to have everything. Let's get a little bit of darkness back in there too. There. That furthest away hill does not have to be the brightest one. And you can go over it, go over it. Each time it's dulling it down and taking away little details, only leaving small little things out there to show. Because the closer we get to us, the more of those details need to show up. Right? So let's grab a little bit of our liquid white. Go over here into our sap green, a little of our cat yellow, just a little bit. Doesn't need to be supremely bright because we want to work it over and over and over. Right? I want to come up here and tap it, and then depending on how bright it is, I can work that color away. See how we're starting from the same spot, but we're getting lower, lower, lower. See how that works? As far as your perspective, or if you were changing your angles and you wanted to keep going up, we're going lower and lower and lower, and shorter little dabs each time to make it look like that. Okay, now, again, you don't really have to go edge to edge unless you're not going to put the big tree, or at least a tree that will cover all that in, okay? So same thing. What did we do back here? We added a little bit of darkness, so let's do the same thing. We'll take that darker color, come underneath, very small initially, and then get bigger and bigger and bigger, meaning we're pulling down further on that darkness, making a little bank stand away from our edge back there, right? Now, we're going to do the same thing with that brush that we did before. So come up here, grab a little bit, pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. The more we pull down over here especially, remember all this is going to disappear It will not be there anymore. We just need that little dark separation between the grass and the guy, the river area. Right? So come out here again with that little bit more of that liquid white. You don't need a whole lot though, so wipe off the blade and just kind of scoot it up there. Right? Right there. Scrape it, scrape it, scrape it. How much do you want? We obviously need our river to brighten up a touch. So I'm going to put excess liquid white right there. Drag it down further than I think I need to, right? And that way, we'll have a bit of color there. And also extend it down. Take this guy, just pull it out. Just so it's not pure white, right? It's not pink. It's got a little bit of both. Out in there, stretch it across. Leave that little bit of glare. Oh, now that we're down in here into our water, you see that glare that's in there? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's fantastic. Now we'll come back again, a little bit of our liquid white. This is the one that's going to stay. Right? So you scrape it, you push hard against it, drag it out, away, horizontally. You'll leave little ripples in your water. You can have little ripples back there, over here, wherever you want them to be. Put one there, put one there. Right? It's all up to you and however you want the water to be. Now we're going to do the same thing. Why don't we get over here with our brush again. We'll go into that plaque mix, grab some of our sap green, bring it down here, mix it onto the brush so it's nice and dark. Right? Same thing, we're going to dip down. So we need to be above this point to start and then get below it. So if we come up here, we'll dip down and down and down. And make another little triangle. So it gets down this way, down that way. You have to, guys, you have to match the angles. If you're not matching the angle on the way down, then I don't know what is going on. So we save that little bit of red back there. Right? No one's going to know what's happening with your painting if you're not matching these angles. Okay, so there we go. Got that guy there. Now we're going to go back with our liquid white. Liquid white over into our sappy green and our cadmium yellow. We just tap it on and into the brush so we get that color in there. This one is allowed to be the brightest. It's allowed to have the most gunk. It's allowed to have all the chunk and all the details and all the gaps and the missing areas because it's the closest one to us, right? And therefore, we should be able to see as many things as we want on this little guy back here. Right? So cover them all up, little spaces, little things. Remember, we're never gonna go all the way to the edge. You can if you want, but a lot of times it just ends up getting covered up. Now, the more paint that I get in my brush as well, the more difficult it is to then spread that paint out. So after X amount of grass patches, you gotta go back and wash your brush off. That way it's not so overly saturated with stuff. Come back in, tap a little bit more, taking away some of the details. Remembering that we're gonna have trees sitting on front of this thing too, so it doesn't really matter. Right now, speaking of those trees, we're going to need to go back and mix up a whole bunch of our darkness. Right? You can have some of that sap green in your dark if you want to. A lot more black this time, a lot of crimson, a lot of blue, but more black in the mix is going to help it stand out as being darker than all the other black sections that we've used so far or had any black paint in so far. All right, so we add more black and up in our foreground because you need it. You need it to stand out. Now, if you don't have any light anywhere, you're not going to have anything to stand out against. So if you're just on too much of a black canvas, then that is a bad thing to start with too. So make sure you fill the color, give it some room, have it some space to hang out. What if we did just a couple little babes back here? Just a little teeny tiny little guy and very thin, right? These ones that are farther away, very thin little trees out there. Just a weird little guy. Because the more that we do, and the closer that they get, right? And once you know where your tree wants to sit, you come back and kind of tap in around them. It's very light, just to seed them in the grass. Right? The more we come this way, maybe we get a little taller up. Little touch, just touching the corner at first. The more you go down, the more you extend. A little bit bigger, a little bit lower as well, right? It's got to come closer, so it needs to sit lower in the scene than the tree behind it. Over, getting taller, taller, and taller until we get to this guy. Right? These are one of my faves right here. He's going to live on this hill, so he's got to be tall. So So we came down and cut through right in the back part of the grass right there. That way, by the time we get down here with our little tippy tappies, what if, by the way, we just didn't even do a full tree? What if we just had some chunky little bits out there, right? So what I like to do is start it out by giving it a couple places, and then you can go back in and fill in those gaps, right? But not everywhere has to be the same amount of branch popping out, okay? So if we did this little guy, and every so often we just threw out a crazy looking, weird, asymmetrical branch, something that didn't make sense, because that's exactly what happens on those trees out there. You get these crazy little things, and not everything out there is perfect, right? Over here, maybe drop down again, kind of covering that back area, filling it up, drop down again, and about right there, we can have a big old trunk, right? And you can see, because we're small, taller, and then tallest, right? Of what you want to do over here. Maybe this guy was even taller, but he's very thin along the top. Came down right there next to his little friend. Okay, all these things, guys, are up to us, however we want them to look every time, where they sit, all that stuff. I'm gonna touch, like, literally, I'm gonna put a little branch out there, a little branch up here, and then we're gonna start our little downward branchers, right? They pop out, and they pop back in, and then they pop out, and then they pop back in. And I'm trying to save some space in between so we can see some clouds and we can see some stuff. But we don't need every place on the tree to be open, right? If you can see a few bits of that background, awesome, right? You just sneak it through the trees. Some of the times the trees are too thick to do that, and you can't, right? So it's all up to us. Again, what we want to do every time that we go to do one. Now, let's say this hill is a little bit closer, right? We're going there, here, as far as that. So let's make one a little bit taller than our guys on our mid-ground hill over there. Pop them onto our branch back here. Come across them again. Very, very lightly, very weird, right? And this is why I always say, too, you have to have that brightness around the back. Otherwise, these little branches don't stand out because it's not dark enough back there, right? Ooh, I like him. I like him. Maybe one more. Right there. Last little tree. Bang, right there. Fabulous. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Okay, now, big one up here in the foreground. Remember, guys, it's got to be the tallest. We're going to come all the way up here. We're going to bring it down, past, and then boom, because he sits right here and forces our river to turn the other direction. So, if we get over here, very, very light-handedly, right, we're going to touch little places, and again, make just like just an odd branch every so often. Not every branch is going to be full, not every branch is going to be symmetrical, and all of that is all up to us whenever we go to paint it. Just mushing the branch or the tree, the bush, the brush up into the canvas like this, right? So we're popping it out that way, popping it out that way, and just kind of filling it in, making sure we have a couple little sharp gaps is all. Not every place needs to be as full as the other places are. And if you can have some branches pop out into that brightness, it just really helps you guys, I'm telling you. I'm only telling you this because I've had to learn it myself and practice and do all these other things all on my own with nobody to tell me how to do it. And so I'm trying to show you guys how to get out there, how to start making some wild looking things, right? And not everywhere has to be so filled or so full or whatever, especially up at the top of the trees, right? We don't need all that stuff. If we put this there, just a couple little, just a little stick or two coming out from that side. Oh, I like him. I like him. All right, we'll fill it in. Hey, leave that nice little sharp top. Dig it. However you want. Remember, they're never going to be perfect. They're never supposed to be all exact or all the same or whatever. It's just not supposed to be like that. Then we're going to come in. If we have any paint left, do we have any paint? I'm trying to scoop up as much as I can and pop it in. Oh, we might just have enough, guys. Maybe. There. Keep it nice and dark. That's going to force our river to run the other direction, right? In which case, you get there. Just a little touch of that brightness at the bottom, too. Okay, now we need to work on this guy back here. All right, we'll take our dark color, again, that same dark mix we've been using. We're gonna pop it in and then get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, starting lower and going lower. Right, so we go over, we drop down a millimeter, we pull down a little bit. We'll drop down further, pull down further, drop down further, pull down further. The only thing we're doing is trying to get a bit of the reflection of the land or the trees or whatever to cut through that spot. That's all we're really trying to do. So we take our 1-inch brush, or 2-inch brush, very lightly, just trying to pull down some of that darkness, not trying to cover up the whole thing, of course. Right, streak it across, very cool. Now, if we add that liquid white, we should have done this part before we did our bushes and stuff, but add our liquid white in here. Okay. Pull down. There we go. Very light, very light. And dragging that color across, it kind of turns into the water, right? You get that glare, top of our water. Yeah. Okay. That looks really cool, guys. I like that. I don't know about you guys. I like that one. A little bit of my liquid white. Now we're going to cut up into the darkness. Right? And these are going to be the ones that stay. These are our bits of water. They're our ripples. They're little things, little specks, little whatever they are. Right? Out from the side, scrape them back. Little things. Not everything out there has to be so crazily bright. You're going to work them down in like a little Z shape or a Z pattern. And the best part about all that liquid white, you could get rid of it if you wanted to. Literally get rid of it if you want to, guys. It's that simple. So remember, you guys can grab this one over on my website, which everybody knows what that is, paintwithjosh.com. Just gotta head over there and check that out. That's cool. Okay, now let's get over here. Let's grab our little fan brush. And here's our main goal, my friends, my guys and gals and painting pals. We do not want to cover up too much of the darkness. We don't need it to be too bright, right? If anything, those couple guys back there, they don't need much of anything. Tap off on this side, touch. Just trying to very lightly leave a lot of darkness, right? We don't need to see every spot of every tree branch exactly the same. You want them to look odd and weird, because that's what tree branches are, right? They're not a perfect straight line thing. A little more of our satin green. Let's go off of this guy now. Start popping in little bits. Little guys, right? The more that you touch on there, the brighter it gets, the more it's going to, you're going to dislike it. And this is how it goes when I do it. When I get out there and I put on too much green, I end up disliking it because it got too bright. So, you can only tap over it a few times to dull it down to that placer mix down in there before it starts getting wild, right? So, it's a learning curve. You gotta learn how to do it, and you gotta get out there and try it, right? And leave those other two in the back, a little bit darker. They'll look further away for sure. All right, now we'll come off of our other dude, our other guy back there. A little of my cad yellow, a little of my sap green. Not too much of anything though, and we need the consistency to be right? Like if the consistency isn't right, then it's just not going to work. Again, just kind of trying to keep the trees a little separate, trying to have a little bit of color. You don't ever have to even go all the way to the bottom, seriously. The bottom is never where you want to be when you're having all that brightness. You just want to have a little bit of light, a little bit of dark. Keep them out there, keep them separated. And then this guy is our biggest one. He is going to have the majority of the details on his little guy out there. But again, we don't want to put on too many little things. If we touch on too many bits of bright or whatever, right, we're not going to like it. It's just not going to, it's not going to look right. Light into our eyes, it's just all that. So, very small amounts of the bright, trying to kind of light up some of those areas and trying to keep some of the areas from getting too bright. Like we need the other areas down there to be dark. We don't need them to be so supremely bright. It needs to get darker as it goes down here and down there and everywhere. And then come up our backside, just a few little hints that other green color, right? Again, you want to have it be dark. Don't want to have it get too bright. I'm telling you, you won't like it. You just won't like it, guys. Now, let's throw on some of our highlights around the bottom. We'll use our liquid white, a little bit of our cadmium, a little bit of our sap green. We'll throw some down there, and we can throw some red on there too as well. All right, so if we had a bit of those guys, down there, just trying to maintain the darkness in between them. Wipe off that green, grab some of that liquid white again, back over into my red now, that bright red, and maybe we can get a couple little, just a little bake thing here and there. Not all of them always have to be the same, and your brain makes you think that. You're like, oh, I should just keep going because it's all the same color. No, stop it. Right, throw something else in, let them change, let them fade, but you get all these little different bits out there. And that's when it starts looking really cool, guys. Really cool, guys. Yellow bit of flower or something. If you want to have your whole bit of grass look closer, use that oval brush. Now that bit of grass looks a little bit closer than the rest of the grass. Very cool, just by changing brushes, literally. So you guys go grab this painting. It's the very first thing on paintwithjosh.com. What are you, not patriotic or something? Like, it's about to be our country's birthday and you're not gonna go grab this painting? That doesn't make any sense. It makes very little sense, in fact. If we grab our brown, a little bit of our bright red, a bit of that black mixed in. There we go. Scrape that guy up. Right there. Where do you want your tree trunk showing through on your tree? Because you have to have something there. Right? That's that brown, our dark sienna brown and the bright red kind of mixed together so it stays dark. Thing back there. One little touch of risky of a little detail. And then our big guy up here, he's got to have a bit. He's got to have some there, some there. Get a little bit bigger as it goes down. Very cool. Very cool, guys. Oh, I like it. Oh, I like it. So you guys got to come up with a title for it. What are we going to name this one? That's part of the deal. Every Paint with Josh painting needs a name. We can't very well name it without your help out there in the comments. So hit us with your titles. What would you call this painting? Remember, the more green splotches you put on there, the less you're going to like it. So what are you going to name this one, guys? Type it out in the comments now. Remember, if you purchase it, you get to choose the title forever. You get to decide what it's going to be, what we're going to call it, and all of that is in your control if you grab the painting during the live show. I would have imagined we had some patriotic fans out there that might want to get this one today, especially right before 4th of July. Right before it. So come up with a title, guys. What are we going to call this one? Like I said, if you purchase it, you get to choose the title out of all the suggestions or pick your own suggestion. Then, I cannot wait to see your guys' versions of this. We did it in 39 minutes, yes? That's a cool painting for 39 minutes, dude. 39 minutes right there. Whew. Like it. Came out looking really good on YouTube too. Just real good. Real good, guys. Okay. Remember, if you like this one, it's there. It's the very first painting on paintwithjosh.com. It's number 1920. And that's not the price, that's just how many paintings we've done. 1920 paintings since I started 6 years ago. Isn't that crazy? The finger paint right there. We gotta do it at some point. Gotta have some finger painting going on down there, guys. It's just not a Paint with Josh painting without finger paints on it. Or at least one section of finger paint. There we go. Now we'll go add in the bird family. We'll sign it right down here. Then you guys got to give me a title. What you might want to call it. What are you thinking? What's popping into your brain? Is it something patriotic? Is it something America? What do you got going on in that skull? Type it out. What do you think? And then remember, if we want another show, and I was gonna do maybe another Flag-scape, just on the side though. Someone's gotta grab this painting. Gotta get it. You gotta get it while it's there to get. Because I was planning on coming back and doing another one today. And I would love for this one to shift so we can do that. Yeah! Boom! What I say? We got a patriotic person out there in the hills. Cha-ching! Boom! So, thank you to Jason, my dude, who now has to title this awesome painting, Jason. So, Jason, you got to come let us know where you're watching on, whether it's YouTube or whether you're watching on TikTok, and then what do you want to call this awesome painting? Mount America. That's cool. What lies beneath the Red River? Awesome. Awesome title. Awesome. So, oh yeah, we'll throw some stars up there in the sky. We'll put a couple stars up there in our blue patch. Just a few ski little bits right here. Oh guys, remember, if you're watching over on TikTok, the new page has been created. It's called PWJ Birds. Right? So if you just type in Paint with Josh Birds or PWJ Birds, then you'll be able to see my new account over there. Just a couple little stars out there in the blue. Bang. Oh, I love it. You'll be able to see the new account where literally all I do is go caw and paint the birds, right? And then it's the next video. That's me painting birds. And then the next birds, and then the next birds. So if you're not already following, follow at PWJ Birds. All right? Thank you, Mindy. I appreciate it. Because that's the bird page, right? We've got like 8 followers over there. So if you guys could go follow me on, and just go to TikTok and type in PWJ Birds, all one word, and then you'll see my profile. Give me a follow. That is funny, you guys. Okay, so we did the stars. We're waiting on Jason to give us a title. Jason. Where are you, Jason? I'm going to find you, Jason. Where are you? Okay, cool. It was just too straight right there for me. It was very, very straightish looking ridge. And I didn't like that straightish looking ridge. Ooh, so, Jason, are you watching, dude? Are you here? Do you know that you get to pick the title for this painting? So we're waiting on, not waiting, but we're eagerly awaiting your title suggestion. And then I'll flip the painting around, we'll sign it on the back, and we'll call it good, guys. And girls. Yep, guys and gals and painting pals. I'm gonna put these birds so they'll show, I guess, right in the red, I guess. Caw-caw! Whip out. Just like that. Fabulous. That's literally it. For like every video is like 6 to 10 seconds of me just going caw-caw. So if you think that's funny, then head over there and check that out. Remember, it's at PWJ Birds. That's it. PWJ Paint with Josh, your best friend. PWJ Birds is the profile over there where you'll just see my bird signature over and over and over and over and over again. Jason, where are you? Oh, Jason. I'm back. Had to go follow the PWJ Birds. Thank you. I appreciate that. Liberty Valley, said Jason. I gotta confirm with Jason, though, that it is actually him. Unless his screen name is, matches what my page is showing over here. New page isn't coming up. Literally, just go to the search bar on TikTok, right? Like go to the FYP on TikTok, then hit the search icon that's up in the top, and then just type in PWJBIRDS, and it'll come right up. Very cool. I saw this earlier. It was just mountains. It's all a whole thing now. Flags of the forest. Guys, can anybody find Jason? Mods, is he here? It's me. Okay, I see where he says it's me. All right, Jason, give me the last 2 digits of your zip code just so I can confirm that it is you. So for me, my last 2 digits would be 02. What are your last 2 digits of your zip code? And then we can confirm it's actually you. And that way we don't let... Perfect. That's him, guys. Pin him. pin him right there. I'll pin him. I got it. There we go. So, Jason, what's going to be the title of your awesome painting that you grabbed during the live show on July 3rd of 2025? What are we going to call this guy? You tell me, and I'm going to spin it around, and we're going to title it right on the back. Man, this one came out cool beans. Liberty Valley, he says. Awesome. Wicked. Little 18 by 24. Beautiful little canvas. The mountain came out amazing. The trees are amazing. The S-shaped curve of the river is on point. The signature on the back is amazing. Number 1920 paintings. 1920, guys. And we're calling, what are we calling it again? Mods. Oh, God, I didn't pin it. Are my mods even here? Liberty Valley copy. Liberty Valley. Boom. All right, this one was painted on 7/3/2024. We're all going to go to paintwithjosh.com because it's like the best place ever. You got to go over there and check it out. I do love all you guys over on YouTube. I cannot wait to see your tutorial or your version of this tutorial, right? All you have to do is go over to my YouTube page, go to the live section or the Flag-scape playlist. I have a whole playlist of just flags, right? Where we do all the flag scenes, and you'll be able to rewatch this one straight from the beginning. The only thing I did prior was I put on my clear and I laid out the stripes in the blue. Otherwise, I show you every single step. So, you guys are amazing. I love you. Everybody over on YouTube, you've been fantastic. Just fabutastic, which is a hard word to say. Come over here, I'm gonna throw in the old JK just to make it a fish. Just kidding, this one's still mine. Says it right there, JK. No, just all right, you guys have been fun. We sold this painting, so we're gonna come back and do another show. That's how it works around here, guys. That's how it works. Now, we are only gonna come back and do one more show though, because I already taught a class earlier today, which was this scene just on a white canvas, and it came out. I'm actually gonna do it in one of the videos here after the holiday, just so you guys can see it and redo that without having to do all the red and stuff. But God, isn't that awesome? Didn't that just come out banging? Okay, I love you guys over on YouTube. I can't wait to see you guys. And until I see you again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 on the West. Well, guys, I can't wait to see your version of this tutorial, and I can't wait to come back and paint for you again. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Last time. Here we go. It's all live anyway. It doesn't even matter. Hey guys, I can't wait to see your version of this painting. Please send it in to me on Facebook or on YouTube. Instagram. I'm just gonna push through. Facebook at official Paint with Josh. Instagram at Paint with Josh K. Send me the photos. I want to see them, and I can't wait until I see you guys again tomorrow. Take care. And the rest of a good day. And blah, blah. What an outro.